4 Keys to Eternal Happiness.
Part 10. Diet.
Hi. Through this lecture, you will learn the secrets to living a happy life for a lifetime. Additionally, you will get fundamental healing of body and mind, from depression to adult diseases. Obesity and health.
Is weight control related to health?
Modern people suffer from various serious adult diseases, and although the symptoms of these adult diseases are different, the main causes are all the same. The main cause of all adult diseases, including stroke, diabetes, cerebral infarction, high blood pressure, arteriosclerosis, myocardial infarction, visceral fat, and cancer, is obesity. The USA already classified obesity as a disease, and it is treated as the most serious. More than half of diabetic patients can recover on their own by simply losing weight. One cancer doctor says, "What cancer patients have in common is not meat, junk food, alcohol, tobacco, but obesity." As of 2024, the obese population in Korea will exceed 37.8%, and in the U.S., it will exceed 73.1%, and the war against obesity has now emerged as a national task. Conditions for a diet that doesn't fail.
It is said that only 1 to 2% of people who try to diet succeed in losing more than 10 kilograms after a year. What should I do to succeed in dieting?
A diet plan that won't fail must meet the following conditions. 1. In order to not fail at dieting, you should not be hungry or thirsty. If you are hungry, you cannot hold out until the next meal, and you will eat snack or overeat during meals, which is the main cause of the yo-yo effect. If you are thirsty, you will be confused with the feeling of hunger and want to eat more, which will eventually lead to the temptation of food. 2. If you don't want to fail at dieting, you should avoid spicy foods. Salty, sour, sweet, and spicy foods can cause you to overeat without realizing it. Hot taste foods are especially problematic. There was a time when the red pepper powder diet was popular among Japanese women because the capsaicin contained in red pepper was said to break down fat. This is a mistake made because they know one thing and not the other. When you eat spicy food, the spicy feeling remains in your mouth, and you will endlessly look for snacks. Non-stimulating, bland food is good for your health, and is the shortcut to a successful diet. If you eat spicy food, you should wash the capsaicin out of your mouth by taking milk or cheese. Capsaicin is fat-soluble, so water won't help much. 3. If you don't want to fail at dieting, it shouldn't be hard. When your body temperature is low, fat accumulates in your body to maintain body heat. In order to stop accumulating fat, your body temperature needs to rise, and the body part that produces body heat is muscle. Therefore, in order to succeed in dieting and avoid the yo-yo effect, you need to increase muscle mass. However, excessive exercise is not only difficult to endure in itself, but also weakens the will, because it consumes a lot of physical strength. Also, high-intensity exercise is not very effective for losing weight. Fat starts to burn after 30 minutes of exercise. If you get tired before 30 minutes, it will not help your diet. It is more effective for dieting to repeat fast walking and light jogging every few minutes for more than 40 minutes. 4. You must be able to diet consistently. The biggest factor in diet failure is the yo-yo effect. How frustrating would it be if you lost weight by trying so hard, only to quickly regain it? The reason why the yo-yo effect repeats is that there is a problem with low metabolic rate, but it is also a phenomenon that occurs because you eventually stop dieting. If you continue dieting for your entire life without a set period of time, there will be no yo-yo effect. So, when you go on a diet, you need to choose a method that you can continue for the rest of your life without overdoing it. In other words, you need to change your lifestyle habits. Diet without fail. Yin-yang diet.
Among those who practice yin-yang diet, there seem to be many whose purpose is their diet. Why does eating food and water separately help with weight loss?
There are two reasons for this. 1. Because the yin-yang diet reduces waste. If you eat food and water together, undigested food becomes waste and remains in the body. If you eat food and water separately, the food is completely digested and waste is not generated. So it is not only good for your health, but also helpful for dieting. 2. If you eat food and water together, the food mixed with water is supplied to the liver and blood vessels in a short period of time. As a result, excess nutrients are stored as fat. If you eat food and water separately, the nutrients are supplied slowly, so there is no excess energy, so you do not gain weight. Diet without fail. Reduce the number of times of meal. Eating late at night or snacking frequently is harmful to your health because it prevents your intestines from resting. In addition, eating small amount of food several times can lead to obesity. Eating snacks or fruits with meals and reducing the number of meals per day to 1 or 2 times is effective for dieting. As long as it is not hard on your stomach, eating a lot at once is more helpful for dieting than eating in several divided meals. Diet without fail. Intermittent fasting. If you eat only for 8 hours out of 24 hours a day and let your internal organs rest for the rest of the time, your body's self-healing power will be activated and your body will heal itself. Intermittent fasting is not only good for your health, but also for weight control. Since the law of yin-yang diet includes intermittent fasting, those who practice yin-yang diet do not need to adjust their meal times separately for intermittent fasting. Diet without fail. One food diet. If you eat only one food, you will lose weight because you lack nutrients. You can diet even if you only eat chicken. The one-food diet is a method used by many people, and as a result, the types of food they choose are very diverse, and there are also many people who fail. In my opinion, the biggest reason for the failure of the one-food diet is the wrong food selection. Since the one-food diet requires you to eat only one food other than water, the food selection is the most important. The diet food that I recommend is grains. Eat rice with 1 or 2 side dishes of vegetables. If you only eat grains, you will not suffer from malnutrition. Big yin type can eat brown rice. Big yang type can eat wheat bread. And if you do not know your constitution, you can eat corn or rice. You should eat raw food according to your constitution, but you do not have to consider your constitution for cooked food. If you do not eat any food other than grains, your intake of yin and waste products will decrease, which will improve your health. You can catch 2 birds with 1 stone, losing weight and being healthy.
But I can't eat just one kind of food because it doesn't taste good.
I emphasize this again. The key to dieting is not a method, it is a will. Diet without fail. Uncooked ingredients. The human tongue has evolved to find foods that are easy to gain weight delicious. This is why it is impossible to lose weight by eating delicious food. When food is heated, 2 changes occur. Nutrients are destroyed. Molecular structure changes, making it easier to break down. The more you heat the food, the less nutrients it contains, so you have to eat more, and even if you eat the same amount, you gain weight more easily. This is why meat cooked over an open fire tastes better. Steamed sweet potatoes are tastier than raw sweet potatoes. Baked sweet potatoes are tastier, and fried sweet potatoes are taste better, and they are easier to gain fat. So, skipping the cooking process is the best, and steamed foods are better than baked or fried foods. The food ingredient that is most effective for dieting is raw food. Why eating together tastes better.
I need to lose weight because I've gained so much weight, but I find that food tastes better when I eat with other people. Is it just me?
A university conducted a crowd psychology experiment using chickens. They put starving chickens in a cage and gave them a lot of food. Then, the chickens ate the food in a hurry and stopped eating when they were full. At this time, another hungry chicken is put into the chicken coop. Then, the new chicken also eats the feed greedily. What will the full chicken do when it sees that? It eats again. It eats even though it is full. The conclusion from this experiment is as follows. If the number of hungry chickens is greater than the number of full chickens, the full chickens will also eat the food. Crowd psychology is at work. If others do it, I will do it too. People are the same. If everyone around me speculates on real estate, I feel like I am the only fool. If the mom next door sends her children to expensive private tutoring, I feel like my child is the only one who is falling behind. If someone else enjoys eating food, I also get hungry. So, when you meet people while dieting, you are easy to fail. When you leave the house, you think,
I will just see their faces and have a cup of tea.
But you know that it doesn't end like that. If you like meeting people, it's hard to control your food, and as a result, you fail to control your weight. So, you need an alternative. Those who practice yin-yang diet, separate food and water, or healthy diet, should meet often. Share the simple food you brought and encourage each other. As time goes by, you will no longer miss the people you used to meet. And when you meet someone you used to know again after years have passed, you will be surprised. As time goes by, people who practice well-being have brighter faces and healthier, but your old friends have more diseases. Diet I do not recommend. Game mania.
When I don't meet people and just stay at home, I get bored and all I think about is food. Exercising when I'm hungry is too hard. Is there a way to endure hunger?
I'll tell you about one diet that isn't very healthy. It's falling into a game that you forget to eat. When I lived alone, I used to get addicted to online games because I was lonely. I'm a well-being person, so I'm picky about food, but it was harder to quit computer games than to quit processed foods. That's how addictive games are. The reason I'm telling you about the game diet is because, in the end, dieting is a battle against time. On TV, they show people eating only salads and sweating in the gym, but in reality, not many people succeed through exercise. Diet control is also difficult. The brain cannot carry out negative commands. For example, if you hear the words,
Don't think about chicken.
you will only think about chicken. When you are hungry, your mind naturally fills with delicious food. The more you try not to think about it, the more often you think about it. So, to stop thinking about food, you have to fill your brain with other thoughts. If you team up with people who desperately want to diet and play games, time really flies. You forget to eat and sleep. Before you know it, you'll lose weight. This is a diet I would not recommend. How to avoid Super Size Me.
There is a movie called Super Size Me. It is a documentary genre movie that warns about the dangers of instant food. The movie is about a person who tests what happens to the human body when eating only hamburgers for 3 meals a day for a month. As time passes, the stomach comes out and body fat increases. After just 2 weeks, cirrhosis reaches a serious level. Are hamburgers that unhealthy?
At the time the movie was released, same experiment was conducted in Korea. The original plan was to run it for a month, but the side effects were much more severe than expected, so the doctor stopped the experiment after 3 weeks. This experiment definitely proved one thing: food alone can seriously damage human health. But there is a way to avoid supersize me. It is possible to avoid cirrhosis and fatty liver by eating only hamburgers for 3 meals a day for a month. This is the way. Don't drink soft drinks when you eat a hamburger. When eating a hamburger, if you drink black tea or plain water instead of soft drinks, the side effects are not so serious. It is even better if you do not drink any kind of water at all when eating. It's not just fast food like hamburgers and pizza that makes your liver sick, but drinks and snacks with sugar and chemical additives are the real trap. Do you want to raise your children to be a chubby child? Then buy them a soft drink with pizza. You can raise them to be fat. They can also get fatty liver and cirrhosis. If they take it for more than 10 years, their teeth will be damaged and their bones will be weak. Next time you choose a drink at a convenience store, please think again. How to suppress appetite.
I need to lose weight, but I have a hard time controlling my hunger. Is there any way to control my appetite?
I once lost 9 kilograms in 9 days. I didn't know how to diet, so I just starved myself. At that time, I really saw a street dog as a chicken and a soccer ball as a watermelon. After that, I did a lot of research and introduced easy diets to people who came to me. The conclusion was that it didn't help much. Dieting is a 100% matter of will. If you have the will, the method doesn't matter, because there is no one in the world who doesn't know how to lose weight. Let me introduce you to some ways to suppress your appetite. 1. Remember this every time you eat. All the foods that go into my mouth were once living creatures. Every time I eat, I kill living creatures. Write this sentence down on a piece of paper and stick it on your refrigerator door or somewhere you can see it. I always remember this and have not weighed more than 58 kilograms at 176 centimeters for over 10 years. I consider meat eating is same with sexual harassment. It is not necessary for my survival, but it is harming other living beings for momentary pleasure. 2. There is one more topic I remember every time I eat. There is no food that is good for my health. All foods make my body sick and old. Sugar and chemical additives thicken the blood and damage the liver and kidneys. Processed foods do the same. Meat consumption is the cause of all cancers. The more human touch, the more seasoning and spices are used, the better the taste, but the worse it is for your health. Even if you are a vegetarian, overeating shortens your life expectancy. There is a set amount of food a person can eat in a lifetime. 3. If there is a food you want to eat only that one food for a week. Then, you won't think about that food for several months. 4. When you are hungry, your willpower tends to weaken. To fill your stomach, you need to eat carbohydrates. You cannot go against the laws of nature. The way is to eat unprocessed grains. Eat grains and 1 or 2 side dishes of vegetable. You can eat as much as you want. It is a one-food diet with grains. I have consistently maintained a body mass index of less than 18 with the rice diet. Diet trainer's body is natural.
A female diet trainer appeared on a TV show and introduced the corset exercise method. She had a very slim body, and the waist circumference of the participants decreased by more than 5 millimeters immediately after the exercise. If I follow that exercise, will I lose weight?
People think that if they use cosmetics advertised by pretty celebrities, they will become pretty too. And if they use diet products advertised by slim people, they will become like the models in the advertisement. Then, did that celebrity actually use that product to become pretty and slim? A famous celebrity lost weight, but it turned out that she had liposuction surgery, causing a huge social impact. I had a question while watching that broadcast. I have studied 4 body constitutions for a long time, so I can guess a person's constitution by looking at their face. Yang Mi Ran was born with a lot of yang energy, so she became a world-class athlete. Kim Yuna also has small yang-type body, so she was born with naturally flexible body. On the other hand, the trainer who appeared in the TV show had a thick bone, thin lips, and looked like small yin type. I think she would be less flexible than other women. People with this type of body type have strong bones and waists, but their digestive system is weak, so they gain less weight than others. They are naturally slim. When seeking help, not just with dieting, try to find an expert who has personally experienced the effectiveness of a method. As of 2024, 1 in 4 Korean women will be obese, and 1 in 2 Korean men will be obese. One of the causes of male obesity is bodybuilding, which cannot be ignored. Muscles are twice as heavy as fat of the same volume. Even if they have good bodies, they are often obese in terms of numbers. BMI of up to 23 is normal. If it is over 23, it is overweight, and if it is over 25, it is obese. BMI is a figure calculated by dividing weight, kilograms, by the square of height, meters. Many male diet trainers are obese. Before you envy those great muscles, remember this. The job with the shortest life expectancy is the athlete. Thank you for attending this lecture. See you in the part 11.